I have earned this. It's been too long since the Tour de France, and I don't know. That was a long stage of which I'm mentally drained. Anyway, let's roll with this. You know what they say, it never rains, but it pours. And that's what happened today on the first stage of the Tour de France 2020 between Nice and Nice. The opening stage of this year's Tour de France was a hectic one to say the least, with crashes, with rain, with breakaways, with a sprint victory at the end of it all. And to be honest, it was one of the most mind-boggling first stages of a Grand Tour that I have seen in quite a long time, and I'm here to talk about it and break it down for you guys. We initially had the breakaway including Grelier, Gauthier and Cher. It's not about the breakaway that matters. Behind, everything got hectic. We had our first crashes, which saw the likes of Andrei Amador and Pavel Sivakov on the ground. We never saw Pavel Sivakov come back. And to be honest, I'm rather worried about the status of Pavel Sivakov because he didn't look good in that stage at all. He was hanging around at the back for a lot of that stage. And I would not be surprised if he ends up pulling out at the end of this week. Who else came down then, I hear you ask? Well, we saw Richie Porte, we saw Caleb Ewan, we saw John Degenkolb, we saw David de la Cruz, all come down from their bikes. And it got to a point where people thought, hold up. This is getting too much. It got really, really wet, and we had a very, very treacherous descent off the categorized climb of the day. And then all of a sudden, the new patron of the peloton, we've seen Fabien Cancellara do it in the past. Tony Martin, former world time trial champion, decided to raise his arms and call down the peloton because we needed a break from the rain. After that happened, we had one of the most miraculous crashes I've ever seen in a Tour de France when Miguel Angel Lopez crashed on a corner, ripping his bike to shreds. He just managed to hold on to his bike and smacked into a road sign, which could have easily been a tour-ending injury for him, but he managed to stay on top of it all and ride back into the peloton. Towards the end of the stage, George Bennett as well, one of the really important men for Jumbo-Visma, also fell. That put everything into the balance as well for Jumbo, because as we know, we've seen Roglic crash already this year heavily at the Criterium du Dauphiné. But to be honest, Roglic looked good today. He was descending right at the front. In fact, he went off the front and told Astana just to keep the pace down a little bit. Cosnefroid's ride, a flyer, but to be honest, it was doomed. But it all came down to a bunch sprint, or did it? Well, we had a massive crash with 3 kilometers to go. Thibaut Pinot was definitely the biggest rider to fall. He ripped up his jersey, but the whole Groupama formation all rode alongside him to the line. And that makes me a little bit worried about what's to come, but I'm sure that Pinot will ride through this and really go into tomorrow with more of a burning desire to gain some time back. In the end, no time gaps were called between the Pinot people, and Alaphilippe also drifted off at the back. They all were counted as the same time as the eventual stage winner, Alexander Kristoff, who I think no one expected to win today's stage. This season's results for Kristoff haven't been incredible, but as soon as the rain came down and we saw how tough it was, then it kind of slipped into place. The final sprint, we actually saw 3 guys that we didn't really expect to see at the front, or at least most people didn't expect to see at the front, were in the form of Cees Bol, Mads Payson and Alexander Kristoff. And I must say, I was right. Who came second today? Tell me. In the comment section down below, who came second on today's stage of the Tour de France? It is the world champion Mads Payson. And who did I say would challenge for the green jersey? Mads Payson. You know who he beat in a sprint? Caleb Ewan and Sam Bennett. Anyway, Cees Bol looked really good. Sunweb had a really, really strong lineup going into this, with a really strong sprint train, and then as soon as we hit 5 kilometers to go, Tiesj Benoot brings everyone to the front with Tiesj Benoot, Søren Kraunis and Nieuwenhuis Casper Payson, and then finally Cees Bol, and everyone was saying,
why is Matthews dropped? Why is Matthews dropped? Matthews should be here.
But now I think Cees Bol has silenced the haters. But I am sure that Caleb Ewan and Sam Bennett are going to be really frustrated. Caleb Ewan came into this Tour de France with one goal. That one goal was to win the opening stage, and he hasn't achieved that. But that's the way the cookie crumbles on the first stage of a Grand Tour. It's a more hectic, more unpredictable stage than many people predict. But tomorrow we will be seeing Alexander Kristoff in the leader's jersey of this race. Did we expect this? Probably not. We expected someone else from that team, most likely Tadej Pogačar, to be wearing that jersey, or even Davide Formolo. But tomorrow he will be starting in yellow. Green will be worn by Peter Sagan. White will be worn by Mads Payson, even though Mads Payson is actually second in the green jersey competition. And the polka dot jersey will be worn by Fabien Grelier. Okay, tomorrow's stage from Nice to Nice once again. I previewed it already on my channel, so head on to that one. But it's a hill one. We have the Col Mien, le Turini, le Col d'Ez, and le Col des Quatre Chemins. Who will be the winner in Nice tomorrow? Well, it's probably not going to be Pavel Sivakov, I'll say that one. I am still not Caleb Ewan. Today, I am quite proud to not be Caleb Ewan, and I will see you later.